Hello and welcome to the 50-cent tour of Wednesday, June 26th, 2013. Please find a seat on the Liberty Bus and our tour will commence. I just found this interesting. It doesn't change anything except I think it's significant that people in other parts of the world are realizing things that some Americans are not realizing. Obama called a war criminal in Irish Parliament. That is an interesting video. Government employees are now criminals if they don't spy on co-workers. Just a sign of things to come if we don't take it upon ourselves to reclaim our constitutional republic. Total victory for transparency in California is within reach. Now, this doesn't sound to me like anything new that's going to happen, just a preservation of something that we already had. The battle to preserve the public's right to access local government records. We take this for granted, right? But they're trying to do away with that. But this is good news. It looks like the California State House is not going to support that. Snowden is still in Moscow airport, won't be extradited, free to go anywhere. And I probably should have had this with the video about the Irish Parliament speech that is, kind of shows Obama for who he is, because America is definitely losing many notches on the ladder of coming down many rungs of the ladder in opinion. And this is another article about that gives a little more depth to the refusal of other countries to extradite to allow Snowden to be extradited. And this is so ironic for somebody who grew up in the 60s and 70s like I did, remembering all of the many movies where people would come to the U.S. for sanction on the run from Russia or other, mostly communist countries, and that we would allow them to stay here and tell their stories. And now that's flipped. People from the U.S. are forced to go find refuge in communist countries like Russia, and I bring this up in this light just to say this: we are not who most Americans think we are. America is no longer respected, and I don't think we deserve to be. More on remote controlling of our cars and the death of journalist Michael Hastings. If you're thinking about getting a new car, think twice. I mean, this is the reality, and they frame it as being for your safety in case someone steals your car or whatever. But that's not the way it is. It's really that they can remotely control your car. And is this the first time they've used that technology to kill somebody? I don't know. But I believe that this time they've done it. And here we are. There's a lot to be said for driving an old beater. I'm wondering if people will, this will start a trend that people will restore older cars and, stop buying the new cars. North Carolina State University researchers control cyborg cockroaches with Microsoft Connect. Yum! Cockroaches. How do you like that? I don't know. This just makes me think so much about the Tom Cruise movie Minority Report, and how so much of the technology in that movie is kind of creeping onto our horizon. And another, what I believe, I don't know Tom Cruise. I don't claim to know a lot about Scientology I don't claim to know what his motivations are, but I find it really interesting that he has made a lot of films that really expose what's been going on in our country. So I'm kind of a fan, to be honest. I wasn't when I was younger, when I believed all the lies that they probably told about him. You know, if people stand up against the system, you're going to hear bad things about them. That's just the way it is. Michael Jackson's a great example. United Kingdom stops smart meter installations. That is pretty great news. They are delaying the installation by more than a year due to serious health and medical concerns. So that's amazing. That is great, great news, and I'm thrilled. Heal the gut with these 5 superfoods. Leaky gut is a real problem, and that's one of the main issues that a lot of people have. And leaky gut means that undigested food molecules are getting into your bloodstream, and it causes inflammation and food sensitivities and all kinds of problems. So these foods are some ways to improve the health of your gut. Garlic, coconut, kefir or kefir, however you want to pronounce it, sauerkraut, aloe vera, sangre de drago, and there we have it. A clean gut can create a clean bill of health. My husband eats a lot of 3 or 4 out of 5 of these. So, and he has a pretty healthy digestive system. In other words, it works. 2 of China's biggest banks have stopped lending at some of their branches. I just found this interesting. There are a lot of rumors that there's going to be a global financial reset sometime in the near future. Not to spread fear, this is not intended as the New World Order is taking over and destroying the economy. This is actually said to be an effort of white hats and white knights and good guys to give the rest of us a fighting chance against the bankers. So China is said to be a big player in those changes, and we've all heard that China is in some financial trouble of their own, and I find this article interesting. What does it portend? I'm not sure, but maybe big changes. We'll see. Sungazing. Discover the bright rewards of this ancient practice. And this is our good news. It's good news since there's plenty of sun around right now. We're just past the first day of summer, and it's a good time to catch some rays. How to feast on sunlight. And physical, mental, and emotional merits. So break away from your computer and get outside if you can. The Daily Tour is a presentation of She Who Will Walk in the Dark Productions, and we thank you for being with us for today's tour. The dawn is coming. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and insist on liberty.